And we'll travel alone, sing alone, side by side. And brother, your mother, another, side by side. Something like that, right? Happy New Year, my people. I'm always like the last one at the party saying, Happy New Year, right? That's because we don't have any episodes lately. We've been taking it easy. That's our like January. Back to normal, sort of normalcy. However, I'm about to offer you guys something. And this offer is about as good as it's going to get. You know what I mean? A winter of weirdness, Wendell. That's right. So next month, February and March, always are the coldest bullshit months of the year, right? Take forever. You know what I'm saying? Even though February is like a couple days and change, it always takes forever. It's like, is it over yet? So I want to offer you a winter of weirdness. We'll share it together. So I'll go back on my 2-episode a month schedule over, the next February and March, man. And you know what I'm saying? We'll get all 2 episodes to share all these weirdness. I got a stockpile of weirdo instruments right now. I want to share them. So we entertain ourselves in the cold months. Then the spring comes in April. We'll get back to the regular old swag. Right? Hey, the regular stuff, Hey, so let's talk about our introduction to the wonderful, weird wintertime. The weird wintertime of this year, right? We're going to start with an instrument so weird that it might even repulse some of you out there. I know some of you guys are very sensitive beings. So if you don't like taxidermist instruments, you might not like this episode, man. I know I got a lot of tree huggers around here like, yeah. I remember people for the ethical treatment of animals. I got Marcy on the line. I'm going to call this motherfucker if I see you being mean to any kind of animals on your show. Well, listen, man, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, hey, take it easy when you talk to me, all right? Take it easy, right? A couple years ago, old Bobby G, man, got interested in trying to get a hold of an antique type instrument called a Charango. What? A Charango. Now, I've told you guys about the history of the guitar before, because I don't want you to be ignorant. I want you to be ignorant, not ignorant. I want you to be ignorant of everything. So I was telling you about it, right? I was like, yeah. Now, the earliest known guitar that still exists on this planet that's still like a guitar, there's still wood there. Like, oh, that's a guitar, right? Exists in Ecuador, right? A cathedral in Ecuador is from like the 1500s. Brought there by like the early conquistadors. Like, I gave my love a cherry. Besame mucho. Right? And then everybody died of fucking typhus. Right? Not a good scene, man. Gonzalo Pizarro. Anyway, so they introduced these instruments called guitarras. Like the conquistador way, you know what I mean? Right on their horses playing their fucking guitars. It's true, man. And all the natives like, oh, Santo Maria. You know what I mean? They're all crazy about it, man. Because, hey. I mean, the motherfuckers speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? They like to copy the shit, man. So, anyway, these guys love this instrument, man. And because, like, the instrument is fairly, like, easy to make except for, like, the body, man. Like, this body of the guitar. Hard to make. We don't understand it, right? And there was a thing that the people, that the Inca people, it was like an armadillo. It was a bowl-shaped armadillo. And they would hunt these guys down and use them. First they cook them up as soup. They eat them up, and then they use this big shell as a bowl. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's what they used it for. And then it became used for anything like a bowl might be used for, because, it was very durable. This animal's like, like a turtle skin, you know what I mean, shell. So it's called an armadillo. They have them in Texas, too. And I think they make boots out of them in Texas. That's what they do, man. So these people started taking these bowl-shaped armadillos, putting a top on there, sticking it, you know what I mean, headstock on, you know what I mean, a little, you know, saying neck there, and like, what did they do? I give them a rose, a cherry, besame, besame mucho, pero no como pizarro, right? They didn't want to be like the conquistadores. They wanted to be like for real. Now, in Bolivia, present-day Bolivia, back in the day, it was called Southern Peru, right? This is where the Spanish minted all their like coinage. Potosi, it was called. Potosi is in Bolivia right now. That's because they had to find a group of Indians that weren't crazy and they weren't going to kill them or steal all their, you know, and shit. People who were like subservient. And so they, you know what I mean? This is where, starting like the 1500s, they started making all their shit, man. Minting all their silver and their gold and their copper and all the stuff that they minted, right? And this supposedly is the birthplace of the Charango. I mean, those Inca people at that point saw it. Yes, this guitar I like so very much. Let's kill the animal and make it into a guitar. And all of a sudden, they're all dancing around. And, you know, for many years, there's happy times in Bolivia with the charango. Although, the Ecuadorian people claim that the charango was their invention. And there are more intricate copies of, like, you know what I mean, the early conquistador type instruments existing in museums that were possibly made in Ecuador. You know what I mean? Back in like the 1800s, you know what I mean? Like the later era, like, you know, charangos that were early charangos, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to confuse you. These are the ones that have like the pegs in it, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to like your modern tuning keys, like the artisanal, but not really artisanal. They have like real nice inlay and marquetry and things like that. These are the ones that are the desirable ones. The original charangos from before, like, you know, I'd say like before 18, you know what I mean, 90. Those are the real sought after charangos, right? The older the better. Playable condition, even better, right? So I wanted one of these things, you know what I mean? So I feel bad for the animal, but, you know, I want an antique one. Then I was like always doing eBay searches. Like 2 years ago, I saw one on there. It was like, he looked like an armadillo that had like scoliosis or something like that. He was all fucked up. His back was all like the elephant man, right? He's all fucked up. But it was like $73. Ooh, it was broken too. It had like the top was all cracked and there was issues with it, but it was still. I knew it was old as hell. You know what I mean? I was like, but for some reason, I just didn't get it. Like, you know what I mean? It kept getting nobody bidding on it, and it kept like going. I was like, you know what I mean? I saw like $70. Like, ooh. I'll wait a little bit longer, you know. And then all of a sudden, it disappeared from my like watch list. I looked through all my incarnations of all the stuff I watched, and it sold for like $70. And for years, like I kept looking for them. Now, what happened was the charango in South America, this armadillo, the bullback armadillo, has become like an endangered species. And you can't make charangos out of them anymore. You're not supposed to anyway. And even if you go down to like Bolivia or Ecuador or Peru or Argentina or wherever you can find an old charango, you get it through customs, you know what I'm saying? It's like a 50-50 chance, you know what I mean? Maybe the dude plays guitar, like, all right, go ahead. But most likely it's going to be a nasty lady, you know what I mean, who's been on a shift for 10.5 hours, like, you go over there and we're going to take off your clothes and I'm going to put my finger in your butt. You know what I mean? It's going to be some weird shit. So, you know what I'm telling you, it's an endangered thing. You don't want to take it out of the country. You got to prove it's an antiquity. You got to have like a license as an antiquities dealer, all kinds of stuff, man. So you have to buy one on the market in the United States that's an antique, that's over like, you know what I mean, like 50, 60 years old or whatever. And that has been in the United States since the band began in 1987, whenever it was, right? So it's like a circle jerk trying to like find one who, because you can buy one on eBay also, you know what I mean, from like Peru or whatever, you know what I mean. But chances are it might get seized in customs, and you end up like buying a Chinese AliExpress shipping right now, you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna stand for no bootlegging of an animal, you know what I'm saying? It's all fucked up. So, old Bobby G, man, for years and years I put in Charango. And usually you come up with Charango. Now what they look like now, like the real Bolivian Charangos look like this. It's like a bowl back. You know what I'm saying? And it's got like a little, like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, I have a bunch of these, man. I don't want to fucking, you know what I'm saying? Instrument that's like mocking like an instrument I don't play. I don't even really like the bowl back shit, man. I got a bunch of bowl back mandolins. I don't ever play them like the flat mandolins. You know what I mean? Once I got that Regal flatty, you know, a Regal Beagle a couple years ago, then I was like, ooh, I like the mandolin. You know, until then, those bowl back shit, I disliked it. So I was like, you know what? I didn't want a modern one. I want to wait till I find like a real deal. You know what I'm saying? Armadillo, Charango, antique from the United States. Some motherfuckers that have this. I mean, get it. You know what I mean? And then there was a couple listed over the time. $300, $375. I saw one for like $250 one time. I was like, oh. But it had like 3 frets on it. I was like, 3 frets. Yeah. It's obviously like a tourist bullshit. You know what I mean? That wasn't really meant to be played. I was like, I want a real instrument one. I don't want no fucking trinket. You know what I'm saying? I want like a animal that fucking suffered and sacrificed for a reason, not for some fucking motherfucker that's just gonna hang on the wall and forget about it. I want this guy to be like, I play the charango animal every day. I come home from work when I'm tired and when I'm hungry, I'm hoisting the banana all day, and I get home and I would like to play Mr. Charango. And when I saw his face, I'm to believer, right? Shit like that, man. Hey, man. Maybe they like Neil Diamond, man, down in the bush, man. Who the fuck knows? So, these instruments are not the Charango. We were waiting for it to come because I found one on eBay that was just, it was like $89. I was like, $23 shipping, Sacramento, California. Old as hell, man. It had all the little pegs in there and it had a lot of marquetry and it was definitely old as hell. And I was like, and I knew by like the real thin frets on it, this thing was a century old. I was like, and by like the real thick grain spruce on the front, I was like, and like it was ends in 6 days, and I was like $89. I was pacing back and forth for a fucking week at time, and then I was like, oh. You know what I mean? What a way to start a new year, right? My winter weirdness, right? What a way I could just get this fucking thing. And I could play it and I could dance around and my viewers would be like, he's such an ass clown, but we'd like him. And we liked the Charango. So I waited and I waited. Each day was like a fucking heart, you know what I mean, beat less of my life. I had less time to fucking worry about things. And then all of a sudden the day came. No bids. 36 minutes left, no bids. 15 minutes left, no bids. $89. Hey, Tony, I'm gonna get this fucking thing. So I was like, 7 minutes, you know what I mean, still no bids. 6 minutes, no bids. So I was like, 6 minutes is what I'm gonna bid, you know what I mean? $141, and that's it. I'm not gonna bid anymore. So there's gonna be a player comes in at a late minute. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. I see all of a sudden 2 or 3 more bids. I was like, it's sitting at $96. I was like, highest bidder is old Bobby G. Like, 2 minutes pass and I'm a winner. Hey, but you know what's weird? eBay always does this thing, especially if you're like on like, you know what I'm saying, like mobile phone and your mobile cellular, right? It'll be like, determining winner, contact seller. Like, what? And if you just refresh, you'll see that you're the winner. But you know what I mean? It's like such a fucking, you know what I mean? Who killed JR? You know what I'm saying? The cliffhanger's set in your mind until you can press refresh. So, that's the reason I don't have it behind me. So we're going to wait. And we're going to look at it and unbox it together. Together. I love you. Together. You thought I was doing Grease. I was doing Annie. Hey, man. I ain't no fucking song and dance guy. What are you fucking trying to say? I'm a tough guy, alright? Not like Travolta tough guy, but tougher. I'll see you once it arrives. So, just came in the mail. It was a week and 2 days late from what originally was supposed to be delivered. And there was no, like, updates in the system about it. And I was like, what? Just like, received in Sacramento, in progress to next route, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fuck. Now, this morning, About a week and a day late, I see that it was out for delivery. Excited about it, right? I'm sitting in my living room. I see the truck pull up. The young kid, who's kind of an asshole, gets out. He throws it on the porch. Just throws it on the porch. So, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What if that's my, you know what I mean, relative's remains? You know what I'm saying? That's disrespectful. Motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously. And then I got it, and I still see that it says received in damaged condition. Right? That's a post office thing. It doesn't have any, you know what I'm saying, signature on there where it should. Because the postal service is never, you know, liable for nothing unless they don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at it, and I see this all fucked up here, and it's like all kind of half broken and shit. Feels like it's well packed. Well, who knows, man? You know what I'm saying? I guess this jerk off thinks, well, you know, it was damaged. You know, it's already fucked up, so I might as well just fuck it up more, bruh. You know, he's an asshole. He's like a young kid. And like I've had to yell at him before about stupidity, you know? Always giving my mail to the wrong person. Giving it to the wrong person, man. Even my neighbor's always getting my mail, and my neighbor don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't look like there's any damage, though. Looks like it survived all the trauma. Trauma and the drama. Now your baby's mama. A little tiny thing. You know what I mean? I was expecting it to be like fucking like giant sloth in here or something like that. It's like a little tiny, like a Hawaiian ukulele size kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a classic 1915 size. Kumale P-I-P-E, man. Hey man, Kumale's hitting the pipe. Oh, what's going on with this thing? Hey man. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Oh man. I can see the mountains. I can't hear the mountaintop. Where are those scissors at? Got a pair of scissors here. Cut on through to the other side. Yeah, that's old as fucking old. It looks like it's alright. Looks like we won't have to file any kind of postal claim. Postal insurance claim. But still, I think that guy's an asshole for throwing it around now. I mean, really, this is like a... You know what I'm saying? It's an artifact. Ooh, look at that. Oh, yeah. That's ancient and old, man. Let's move all this shit out of here. This damaged goods, man, and take a better look at this old gal. There he is, man. I feel bad for him. He's probably been dead for a good 150 years, something like that. The only damage on this guy right here is over here. There's some repair damage from a long time ago. You can tell it's a very old repair. If you look real closely at it, you can tell it's like all decrepit old. And that might be from where this guy met his maker, you know what I mean? I mean, they might have just, you know what I mean, had to stab him like that with a spear or some shit like that, you know? I mean, who knows? It doesn't look like it had any kind of trauma at all whatsoever. It doesn't even look like there's any playware. It looks like somebody collected this in South America 100 years ago, 120 years ago. Probably in Ecuador. Never played it and kept it in a very controlled environment. Look how thin those frets are. Kept it like a museum type environment, you know what I'm saying? Look at the workmanship on that. It's great, you know what I'm saying? It's obviously lots of work put into it. A very well done Charango, and it's certainly old. You know what I'm saying? Hey, little guy, man. He's still hairy, you know what I'm saying? He's still got all those scales. A lot of these lose their scales. Because, you know what I mean, after, 50, 60 years. He did the good job, the smart job of keeping it detuned. You know what I'm saying? Always want to keep instruments detuned if you have them on like static museum sort of display. You know what I'm saying? And it's obviously kept in a very good environment. You know what I'm saying? A humidity controlled environment. Love it, man. So let's go to the Learning Laboratory real quick. I want to show you what I'm thinking about talking about that Ecuador fucking trip. You know what I mean? As opposed to Bolivia. And we'll see if we can come to a consensus together. Ready? Learning Laboratory. Welcome back to the Learning Laboratory. So here we are, man. We have this Charango page up from Worthless Point. This one's very similar to ours. Extremely similar, but it's a little bit more ornate. A lot more like mother of pearl sort of usage on it. You know, it's a beautiful instrument, but unfortunately, it seems to be a little bit newer than that. So, but that's a good reference point, a good place to start. Let's talk about one of the oldest Charangos I can find in the intro net. This is the Duke University Museum, so you know it's like, you know, saying, hey, what's up, Duke? If John Wayne says it's true, it's true. This is a Charango from their collection from the 1700s, man. Can you believe that? You believe that? It's got some repairs and everything on it, but it's a lot simpler. And look at this inlay. It's very similar to our inlay. Isn't it very, very similar to our inlay? Yes, it is. And you see this old hewn wood from like the 1700s and like the 1800s. See how simple this particular bridge piece is on this guy? The pegs. Look at the shape of those pegs. Remember that. This is what I was talking about, the back of the shell peeling, man, because like shell rot, man. It's old as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find them in like great condition the older they are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Now, Bolivia has all kinds of, you know, claims to the Charango. This is what the modern Charango looks like today. This is actually one from Peru because it's real popular in all those Andean countries. Bolivia, let's see if I can find this. This is a museum in Rome. Very, very old Charangos here. You can see that there. I don't know if I can zoom in a little bit on that. You see that, man? That's like, you know what I'm saying, like ancient antiques. These are probably from, you know, 1700s as well. I would think, you know what I mean. But their bridges were a lot more ornate. So I don't know, man. Some of these they're actually attributing to Ecuador, and that was my point, man, of showing you this. I'm trying to get this guy right here, Ernesto Cavor. He's like the world's foremost expert on the Charango. He's got the biggest collection. He's got a museum, you know what I'm saying, that he runs. You know, and he's got all kinds of, this is my favorite right here. This is the one that I like the most. You know what I'm saying? And here's more of his collection. You can see there, here's a bowl back one right here. This one's very similar to ours right here. I think in the other picture you can actually see it like this guy right here kind of looks like ours. You know what I mean? Right in the back there, man. So, I mean, there you go, man. I mean, we have all we need to know. This instrument right here happens to be, though, from a museum in the United Kingdom, right? And this is identified as a early 19th century Charango from Ecuador. Look at that bridge. Look at the pins. Look at the inlay. Look at the way. Look at these real thin. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? You see the real thin frets, man. I'm serious about the thinness of the frets, man, because it's very similar to ours. So that's what I'm thinking. Ours is a very, very old Charango from Ecuador, man. You know what I'm saying? No. So we don't really need to go, you know what I mean, into the real laboratory yet this year. Why? Because it's not really broken about it. We just got to tune it up. I think it's GE, C, something like that. I don't know exactly. I have to take a look. I will tune it up, though, and then I'll see you on the slab. We'll take a look at it and the glamour shots together in one. And there it is. The little guy. Now, the traditional tunings on these is G, C, low E, A, high E. However, I have them both down to low E. Why? Because the body of this guy is essentially a 120-year-old rodent. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know how strong he was. We don't know if he ate his calcium. Sorry, guy, man. I really feel bad about it. Hey, man. He gave me a tail end of things. His eyes have been replaced with nails. His ears are all sort of just like fixed in place. You can see inside that they put like this primordial gauze over like the places where he got stabbed. You know, that's real old when you see like a textile like that. You know what I'm saying? Daylight coming, me want to go home, right? So this is a gorgeous sort of piece of history. I have it tuned up now, but as soon as I'm done playing it, I'm going to untune it, detune it, bring it down, Noriega. You're getting too excited here. Don't want Barbara to hear. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to definitely detune it after we're done playing it for you. We're going to play it for you right now. And after that, we'll say, peace be with you. Look after yourself. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. The Charango, now mine to tango, right?
Incredible. Incredible. Now with this tuning, strum it open, it's A minor actually. So I mean you're already halfway there. You just gotta figure out another couple chords. And that's what I did. I only found one other chord out. I'm not even about to look up a chord chart because I'm not gonna play this ever again. This is my friend. You know what I'm saying? My family member now. I shall call him Arthur. So, it's got a nice, like loud resonation, right? It's really sort of. For like an animal, you know what I'm saying? That's like, you know what I mean? You can fit this into your pocket if you're wearing like a big pair of sweatpants, really. Anyway, so a lot of people kicking off, man. You see this hat? That's some exclusive merch, bro. See it? You're not gonna find it anywhere. You know why? There's only one on the whole planet. My daughter got it for Christmas time. You know what I'm saying? I was like totally amazed, man. My oldest daughter always comes up with some pretty cool gifts. You know what I'm saying? Man. People go around and ask me, "Hey, what's about that hat, man? Tell me the story." I was like, "Oh, it's a baseball team in Japan." And then they look it up and they see me on the internet, right? That's a way of like reverse psychology. So I was about to say, man, before I introduce my hat, lots of people kicking off lately. Some of natural causes, some of unnatural causes. And a couple of these, high profile ones, I actually like touch base with. When I was younger, and even now, and a little lazier now, but when I was younger, I had no qualms with getting in touch with whoever I, wanted to talk to. Like Mr. Rogers. I actually communicated with him for a little while. Man, Mr. Rogers was awesome. You know what I mean? He was one of the nicest people in the world. You wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean? He's always just like, was so happy to, hear from people. And you know what I'm saying? He always called. He say, "I'm your lifelong neighbor. I'll always be your lifelong neighbor." You know what I'm saying? And like all kinds of people. Pete Seeger. You know what I'm saying? I can think of a million of them. Practically the whole cast of Scooby Doo. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that was my thing, man. Just get in touch with people that like meant something to me. The only person I never heard back from was Scott Bakula, man. You know what I mean? I love Quantum Leap. I don't know why Scott Bakula can't. You know what I mean? Right back, make a telephone call, whatever, man. Pete Seeger called me up, man. Anyway, I don't know. About 25 years ago, I was reading an article. It might have been an interview or an article or an essay written by Rob Reiner, man. And he was basically in it. He was asserting that it was much better being behind the lens than in front of it. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't want to act anymore, really. I just want to be behind the camera. I want to make my art, blah, blah, blah. I just kept thinking about, Meathead. Hey, Arch, you know what I mean? I love All in the Family, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, so I wrote him an email. I found it, in the early days of the intranet. Castle Rock, which is a company he's like, you know what I mean, founded or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had an email address, you know what I'm saying? So I like emailed Castle Rock. I was like, attention Rob Reiner, you know? I said, the world needs more meathead. I don't know. I said a couple other things first. I said, you know what I'm saying? Right now, the world needs more meathead. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, connection with what he was saying, how he was done being in front of the camera. And within 20 minutes later, I got an email back from Rob Reiner saying, I disagree. But Meathead, he agrees wholeheartedly. And I thought that was great, man. He's like dual personalities. So Rob Reiner, rest in peace, man. I emailed him back, hey, can Meathead send me an autograph, you know, picture I put on my mail so I look at it every day? And he said, what's your address? And within like 4 days from California, sunny California, I had an autographed picture of Meathead, man. But he signed it Rob Reiner. Wish he signed it like, you know, Michael Stavinsky or whatever. Michael Stivic, that's right. Anyway, rest in peace, Rob Reiner. All right, mental health is important with your kids, especially. Don't yell at them in front of Conan. And in December, we lost not only Rob Reiner, we lost the beautiful, most gorgeous people of all time, Bridget Bardot, man. Bridget Bardot. And I love Bridget Bardot. You know, you talk Marilyn Monroe, and you talk about, you know what I'm saying, all them Jane Mansfield 50s pinup girls. Mamie Van Dorn, you could just forget about it. I saw a picture of Bridget Bardot when I was like 13. I was like, ooh, that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I got a hold of her address. You know what I mean? I wrote her this like letter, like, you know, I wouldn't even read it to anybody, but it was a pretty intimate letter. Hey, man, I was like, you know what I mean, 18, 19 years old, you know? And I was like, oh, I'd love to spend some time with you, Bridget, you know what I mean? Just get to know you. At the time, she was like a hermit. She was getting older. She didn't make no appearances. Nobody had seen her in like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? That was that period of her time. And she's just like, you know what I mean? Like taking care of like sick animals in France. You know what I'm saying? And that just made me want her even more. You know? Anyway, so like I got this big envelope back and it's stamped on the side. It says the Society Bridget Bardot or something like that. I opened it up. And it was like a dot matrix, not dot matrix, it was a laser bubble jet printer picture that Bridget Bardot printed out herself, a naked picture of herself. She signed that shit to me, man. Like a nude photograph of herself, man. And I was like, you know, I was like, you know, I was showing these people and they're all jealous. I have Bridget Bardot sent you that. I showed them the envelope too. Like, ooh. So, and Bridget Bardot, rest in peace. Bob Weir, he also passed recently. Bob Weir, I saw him once with the Grateful Dead, once with Just the Dead. I don't remember much of either of those two shows. It's a little psychedelic activity. I remember when I saw the Grateful Dead at Giant Stadium in like 94, I think it was. I went with this real big guy, he's a friend of mine, and he ended up like start to cry, you know what I mean? I had to babysit him the whole show, and I myself was not, you know, I wasn't like able to babysit myself even, but I had to take care of this big guy, you know what I mean? You know, at the end of the night, he's like, you drive home? You know, and I was like, I didn't even have a license at the time, you know what I mean? I made it like halfway there, and then somebody else in the backseat's like, all right, man, pull over, you know what I'm saying? You're all over the place. You're going to get pulled over, or you're going to get us all killed, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you're right, man. Yeah, what can I say, man? LSD, this is a very, very powerful drug. So let's talk about my friend, of course, who was crying. So speaking of which, let's bring a whole fucking room together, man. John Lennon, the great John Lennon, man, right? He was obsessed with Bridget Bardot, just like old Bobby G. Only at the time, man, Bridget Bardot was like, you know what I'm saying? She was like the shit at the time, you know what I'm saying? And he had like a pin of her hair right above his bed. Yeah. Anyway, that's true, man. You can actually like read about the Beatles lore, man. He did have a picture of her. In the late 60s, Bridget Bardot was coming to London. I think she was filming a movie or something like that. And her publicist got in touch with the Beatles publicist. You know what I'm saying? Because she actually loved that song because she was French. A French babe, you know. I was recently in Europe, man. You know, European people think differently. Anyway, she heard Michelle on the radio. Oh, Misha and my band. So thought the Beatles would speak French, you know what I'm saying? And she thought Paul McCartney was pretty cute, you know what I mean? So she's like, could you get a hold of the Beatles? I like to hang out with the Beatles. Now, 1968, you know, say the Beatles weren't really hanging out with each other, you know what I mean? I think they just got back from India at the time. Yeah, and the only one that had an interest in going to see Bridget Bardot was John Lennon. And he was so nervous, you know what I mean? He's learning all kinds of romantic songs, like, you know what I mean, to play to her, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what do I do? You know, he's just really, really, really nervous. And he told Derek Taylor, the Beatles publicist, set up, so you got to come with me, man. Nobody's come with me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So John Lennon, you know, was all crazy, and Derek Taylor's like, why don't we just take some acid? It'll calm us down. John Lennon's like, yeah, acid always calms me down. He dropped a couple tabs of acid, and he got there, and it did not work, you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh. And Bridget Bardot was like, you're not the cute Beatle, you know, and she spent the whole time in the corner, like, talking to friends. But John Lennon, like, had a guitar with him, and he was like, oh, he said it felt like a big pile of cheese, is what he said, I believe. And one of the songs he learned and he tried to play for her was this song, and it probably sounded about this way because I don't really know what I'm doing. I wait at my window and watch as she passes by. I said to myself, man, you're a lucky guy to have a girl like Angel, make dreams come true. And of all the fellas in the world, she belongs to me. Now it's just my imagination once again. Run away with me. Is that just my imagination? At this point, Bridget Bardot got up like, it's time to go. Go sit over there. Okay? Go ahead, Shaggy. Go ahead. And that was it, man. John Lennon was like heartbroken, man. Crushed. You know, poor John Lennon. Rest in peace, Bridget. John. Bobby Weir. All right? Rob Reiner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Weird Winter continues in February. 2 episodes coming at you, man. Coming at you. Coming at you. Coming at you. Coming at you. Coming at you.